Morning, brothers and sisters. So my brother Mike that I carpool with, he's on vacation this week. So I thought I'd spend a little time here with you this morning on the way to work. I got a beautiful email from a sweet sister yesterday. You know who you are. I'm not going to mention your name. And so I thought I'd address the email in video form because it may help somebody else as well. I know your emails definitely help me. One of the things you had mentioned in the email was the feeling of the lack of discernment. And I want to tell you here today, my sweet sister, every time you send me an email, it's perfect timing. And always so very sweet and exactly what I needed at that exact moment. So I want you to know that. So I would say that you've got great discernment. Because where do you think that voice comes from that tells you, send William an email today? Our enemy's done such a, I don't even want to say good job. I don't want to use that word even in the same sentence, but our enemy's done such a job that he's convinced the masses that if you hear voices, you've got a problem. You've got mental illness. And there's a wide variety of different diagnoses. With that diagnosis comes what? Pharmakia. I always think back to the when I was young and rambunctious and just constantly wanting to entertain those that were around me. And I had a nun for a teacher, and she told my parents that I had ADHD and that I needed medication. And ADHD was fairly new at that time, that diagnosis anyways, which should tell you something there. But I went to the doctor, and the doctor said he's just a kid trying to make people laugh, leave him alone. And so the doctor actually told me and my parents to lie, and we did at that time, and to go back and to tell the nun that he diagnosed some medication and that I'm on it. And so that's what I did. I promptly went back, and she asked me, did you go see the doctor? I said yes. And months went on. Well, needless to say, several months later, she called my dad into another sit-down parent-teacher interview, and proceeded to tell my dad that she was very impressed with my behavior and that the medication that I was on was working. And so my dad promptly freaked right out and let this poor nun have it. Basically told her, called her a liar. And because of that, actually, my dad stayed away from the church for a long time. He used to read every Sunday, and that kind of caused him to drift away a little bit. But I guess the moral of the story, you guys, is we all have our own journeys. We're all at different spots of our relationship. And it takes practice, you guys. I know hearing his voice and practicing discernment. Discernment is just like any other muscle. It needs to be worked out. And the easiest place to practice both, hearing his voice and working your discernment, is going back to the textbook, you guys. Going back to our workbooks. Going back to the good word, the Bible. And so anybody that's lacking in anything, that is a great place to go back and start Sorry, I got the sun beaming in my eyes here. But I was struggling there, just like you were, sister, to find motivation to pick up the good book. And I was watching a sermon a little while back about how, and it was about spiritual warfare, and how that when it came time to watching a movie or listening to music, or getting a call from your friends at 2 a.m. to go have some beers, you're wide awake, ready to go, let's go, but the moment that you picked up your Bible, you started getting tired. Well, that's not by accident, brothers and sisters. There is a war going on in the background that we're all aware of, and it's not by accident that when you're about to do something that's against the Lord, the enemy is going to let you leave you alone to your own devices, and not come against you, and will do whatever it takes to encourage you to do so. But the moment that you want to put your head down and start reading the Bible, or do a fast, instantly, the spirit of anxiety and being tired will come over you to try to convince you to not do it. And so this is where we have to be dedicated, brothers and sisters. We have to endure through it and push through. And as far as finding time and being dedicated to that fact, it's just a matter of putting yourself in a rhythm again and praying on it. God put it on my spirit to pick a chapter and dedicate a time and the amount that you're going to read every single night, and then get yourself in the habit of doing it again. And you're going to have the enemy come against you and tell you, oh, look, you got to schedule times now and do these. Get behind me, Satan. God wants to spend time with you, brothers and sisters. And if you're having a difficult time motivating yourself to do so, get yourself in a regiment again. Pick yourself a time. Pick one. You start with one chapter. Maybe start with 2 chapters, 3 chapters, whatever the case may be. But in that one beautiful book, you're speaking to God. You're stretching your discernment. You're using your discernment, and you're dedicating your time to the Lord. Only good things can come from spending time in the good book, brothers and sisters. And so if you're having a difficult time right now, again, it's just a matter of, it honestly is and I don't want to say it's the same, but it's very similar to going to the gym. And all good things are not easy to do. That is for sure, brothers and sisters. And if you look at the gym, you can go for several days in a row, but if you miss a day, how hard is it to get back onto that day after that? It takes, there we go. The word's been fleeting me this whole time, but there it is. Praise be to God. Discipline, brothers and sisters. Discipline is a skill. Discipline is a muscle that needs to be practiced. And faith, brothers and sisters, gives you the power. And there are so many factors, again, going back to society telling you that, hearing that voice or practicing your faith openly in public, or whatever the case may be, is frowned upon, because that's what we're told. You're crazy. You hear something, you hear a voice, you're crazy. That time that you want to go out of your way, to open a door for somebody, or you want to, exercise your faith, you're always going to hear that voice that's going to try to deter you from doing that. Have discipline, brothers and sisters. Push through, persevere through Jesus Christ. I was trying to explain to my 13-year-old daughter that, going into high school here, coming up here fairly quickly, if she's going to choose the straight and narrow, it's going to be lonely. Lonely in the sense of what the world wants for her through the system of school. And that it's not going to be easy. And I would be doing her a disservice if I told her it was going to be all sunshine and rainbows, because it's not. How do I know that? I went through it. I went through it. It wasn't easy, you guys. It was not easy. Even being popular was not easy, because either way, he's got you right where he wants you. He either tries to make you feel terrible because you're alone, or he tries to make you sin because you're popular. Either way, he realizes that the time in which you are going to school is a very important time to try to influence you. And as it states in the Bible, whatever we teach our children at a young age, it will stick with them forever. So our enemy sees that, and he's read the Bible. He understands that, so that's what he's trying to do. So when it comes to your faith and hearing God's voice and discernment, pray, cry out. Although it be the same, it will look a little differently for everybody, because it's that beautiful, tailored relationship between you and our Creator is what makes it special. And for him to show us how different 7 or 8 billion of us are, and how unique all of our relationships are, it's all one and the same. And only he that is on high can be perfect from both spectrums of a conversation. And so, my sweet sister, whatever it is you're going through right now, take it to the Lord. Pray on it. And with faith, understand that you're going to get your answer. And it's only a lack of faith. It's the moment that we give into the fear and feel overwhelmed, it is where it breaks that communication. And the way that he's always explained it to me is it's like a radio station. And when we're feeling great through Jesus Christ, with faith, that radio station is loud and clear, and we can hear him, and everything around us is in tune with his voice and his message. But as the days go on and things start to test us, and we may fall into the snare of fear, that radio station starts to get more staticky, and we can start to hear the other radio station start to come in a little more clear. So it's imperative that we work on it. But more importantly, don't lose faith. Because everything that happens to us happens with purpose. And he will never give us something we cannot handle. That is the one thing that we always have to bear in mind when we're combating the enemy. That whatever test is coming against us at that moment is there for the purpose of honing who we are, and that it will never be overwhelming to the point where we can't handle it. So either way, my dear, I appreciate your email. I really do, as I appreciate every single email you've ever sent me, and I want you to know truly that it's always been at the exact time that I've needed to read it. I want you to know that. And that right there again is discernment, and hearing our Father's voice and obeying him when he asks you to send me an email. So either way, my dear, I love you very much. Brothers and sisters, I love you all. It's going to be a 12-round fight, you guys. It really is. That was one of the things that was put on my spirit here this morning. It is going to be a battle right until your last breath. So accept that fact. Accept it today. Accept knowing that it is going to be a battle right until the end. And the only way that we're going to make it through is through faith in Jesus Christ. That is it. Anytime William tries to lean on his own understanding, he tries to sort it out on his own, it's never ended well, you guys. And I imagine it's exactly the same way with all of you. So we need to let it go, you guys. We really do. So either way, I'm almost at work. I love you all dearly. Have a blessed, amazing day. If our Creator puts something on my spirit to share with you tomorrow, then I'll be back here. If not, Father willing, I'll talk to you as soon as I can. I love you guys. Take care. God bless you.